So let's talk about integrating ProLine with Lead Scout. So ProLine can be integrated with Lead Scout via Zapier. Now, our Zapier app is public, but theirs is invite only. So you'll need to reach out to Lead Scout support about gaining access to their Zap so that you can connect to it from ProLine. But once you are approved for the Lead Scout Zap, then you can create new Zaps in Zapier that connect ProLine and Lead Scout together. And these are really straightforward combinations, and so this is quite effective. So if we go to Lead Scout, we can choose Prospect Created here, and then I can customize this a bit. I can choose what leads status I want to trigger this by if I want to filter it. So for example, we can say if they are hot lead, we can then, and then you can also filter by tags or even individual users on your team. You can then pull in just prospects that match that. Now, it is important to note this is prospect created, so it's at the creation point. And I've been instructed by the Lead Scout team that this has about a 10-minute delay, and so the idea is to give you and or your team, whoever's using Lead Scout, plenty of time to finish filling out the profile before triggering this Zap and sending it over into any other platform. So after that delay, this will run. And this maps very directly onto ProLine, and you would choose the Create or Update Project event. Select your account or connect your ProLine account to Zapier if it's not connected yet. And then you can go down this list. Now, none of these are going to be relevant, I don't think. If you want to have edit by contact, you can. This will try to find an existing project that's open for a contact that matches the contact information provided. So if you're expecting there to be contact information on the Lead Scout side, then you could turn this on for sure. It just depends on how exactly you want it to work. For assignee, we're going to do custom, and then we're going to do let me see, email. So there's prospect email, but there's also assigned to email. So you want to choose the assigned to email, and that you just need to make sure that the login email for all your users in Lead Scout is exactly the same as the login email in ProLine. If that is the case, then the assignee between both will be synced. And then move to stage. Generally, you're going to want to have this in like a new lead stage, but you might also want to set up a separate stage that's just for door knocking leads, so it's up to you. And then you can choose a campaign to run. So this is really good if you have those hot leads. You might want to funnel them into a campaign in ProLine that, once again, is being sent from the same user that put this into Lead Scout, that says, thank you so much, great talking to you, and then has a series of nurture messages that's providing more information and warming that up, leading up to some additional action being taken. So you can certainly start a campaign if you want to. I have the speed to lead canvassing leads, so I'm going to select that campaign here. And then, of course, we have our address fields. So we have address 1, address 2, city, state, zip. So yeah, we're good to go there. If we want to put any sort of tags, so like maybe we want a canvassing tag on our project just so that we know where it came from. There's separately a lead source, and we'll hit that in a second, but it's also nice to know on the project anything that's associated with certain activities. If you want to fill out anything on the custom field side, you can. There's a number of different things that you might want to pull in into some of these custom fields in ProLine. And then, of course, the notes. We probably want to match that up with the notes coming from the Lead Scout side. There is an ID, I believe, that's coming from, there's an ID that comes from the Lead Scout side. So we'll put that into the new external ID to save it, just in case we want to pull that back later. This is currently just prospect created, but the Lead Scout team has told me that they're considering extending this to updated as well. And so if we want it to work in both cases, we could push the ID in here. Now, right now, this is not really going to do anything, but down the road, if the Lead Scout team extends this to also include the updated action in the same trigger, then that would allow this to work in both cases. All right. We're going to want to do first name of prospect, last name, phone, email. All right. Probably leave all this. We do want to make sure that we have the lead source. So we have a canvassing lead source here. We're going to select that. And then there's nothing we can do with the event just yet. I don't think anyway. Let's see if they have a date. Yes, that's another thing that the Lead Scout team said might be coming down the road, would be the event, a scheduled date for an event being added, in which case that could get passed into ProLine as well through this event set of fields. But that's pretty much it. That will cover everything, so we can hit continue. We can test this step, and we should see this pop into ProLine. And we can see here we have a new project in the leads area. We can see that it started the canvassing leads campaign. It has all the information that came over from the Lead Scout side, and this is now good to go. So that's connecting Lead Scout to ProLine. Let's talk about the opposite direction. So there's a real need, or my understanding is it's nice to be able to have inside of Lead Scout all your existing customers. And so if you want to automate and make sure that regardless of whether they came through Lead Scout originally, they are all in Lead Scout after a job has been completed, an existing customer has been completed. What you can do is, we'll save this draft. You can go the opposite direction, and my recommendation is to use a ProLine Zapier trigger. So we can, in ProLine, we can do Zapier trigger step occurs. Okay, so that's not going to work yet. What we're going to do is we're going to go into ProLine. We'll go to 1, because generally speaking, you're going to want, as soon as you have won somebody, they're technically already a customer. So at that point, you're probably going to want to run something. So we have this pre-production checklist, and then we have pre-production siding, which is separate. So this is conditional. We probably are going to want to add it on both. So we're going to go to pre-production checklist. We're going to go Zapier. We'll just add it on this one for now. So we have Zapier trigger. We're going to save this. All this runs at the same time, so we can just leave it there at the bottom. And then let's refresh these results, and we will pick up that, other pre-production checklist, step 5. So that is now our trigger. It comes from that campaign that gets run when something goes to 1. And we're going to pull in a test here. And then we're going to go to the Lead Scout side. We're going to create a prospect. And we're going to just enter in all this information. That same contact came back, or project and contact came back as the sample since it was just edited. State, zip code. Oh, this is actually an important thing to note. We actually probably want the project address, not the regular address. That regular address is just the contact address. Often they are the same, but sometimes they're not, like if it's a rental. Okay. Prospect name, can pull that in. Phone. Looks like they don't have separate first and last name fields, which would be preferred, but they do have just the prospect name here, so that should be fine. Prospect phone number, email. Can pass in any notes. We'll set the status here, so we'll say existing customer. Anything else that we want to do here? If we want to pass in any of this information, we can. I'm not gonna do that. We got assign user's email though. We will do assignee email, and there we go. So that email is not going to find any users on on their side, but that looks like it still worked. The issue is there's also already a project or a prospect with the same name. Not sure if I can get. I'm not sure where I put my login information, but yeah, it's saying on this end that it worked. So that would be connecting ProLine back the other way when a job is sold. And between those two, that should be a complete connection both ways to cover all your needs, and then you can customize this however you need to. So in Zapier, it's very possible that you would want to. I guess it didn't save that. It's weird. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's very possible that you would want to have multiple. So this is lead scout to ProLine. So you might want to have one of these for the hot lead status, but then have a different one. Okay, have a different one for one of the other statuses. So you can get very creative with this. Zapier has a lot of flexibility. You can also potentially have a lot more of these ProLine to Lead Scout. So if you want to make sure something makes it into Lead Scout, you can have it across multiple different campaigns. You could have it both at the one stage and the paid and closed stage just to make sure. So there's a number of different things you can do here. This is just sort of the basic version, but you can definitely duplicate out these and get a little bit more granular. So you can start different campaigns, for example, for different statuses in Lead Scout and stuff like that. So hopefully that helps. Don't hesitate to reach out to our support if you are having any issues. We're not the most familiar with the Lead Scout platform, at least our support team is not, but our support team does know Zapier, so might be able to help there. And then, of course, you can make sure to reach out to the Lead Scout support team when it comes to getting access to their Zapier app, and then also getting everything to work correctly on their side. So hopefully that helps.